I've been trying to make some videos for the last couple of weeks, and I've really been getting hung up on the fact that like I'm trying to do a specific type of content. Hey everybody, I'm back. It's Dave. This is 40K at 42. I made a video last week getting into the hobby, and then I made a video about how I don't understand the loadouts on the Dreadnought manual. Yeah, that was fun. I've been making Warhammer stuff for like the past 5 days, and it's going pretty good. I have been navigating this sensation of like finding old memories of like ways I used to do stuff when I was like 16. For reference, I played 40K back when I was in high school and like after high school. So for me, this is kind of like returning to the hobby. I do know some parts about it, but I still find the majority of it very confusing. There's just so much has changed. For anyone who's played, you probably know best. I'm assuming some of you have just played through all of the editions. Like it just changes a lot, right? Even, 10th to 11th wasn't meant to be like a massive change, but I'm sure that it's different enough that you're still learning different things and playing games as if they're, fresh. It's weird. It's weird coming back to Warhammer after so long. I've always been interested in Warhammer, and I've played other games of it, like Darktide and stuff like that. But coming back to specifically the tabletop hobby after so long, it is very different. This was a big challenge for me. Just getting the rulebook in general was a challenge. I had to get this ordered. Not that matters much to you guys, but for me, I was finding it hard to actually find the books. And you need the books to get the rules. You can't just like buy the rules. You can't just like buy the rules in the app from Games Workshop officially. Even though I want to go through the rules of like every faction, and I would probably pay to have every faction's rules digitally, Games Workshop, if you're watching, but there's no way to do that. So I'm like hunting and pecking for physical books so I can redeem a single code in the back and probably burn it. No, I wouldn't burn it. But yeah, it's just so frustrating. I've been making video games for almost 20 years now. And for me, I choose what I'm going to play in a system or a game or whatever based on going through the rules now. And it depends like what level of discovery I still want to leave for myself, But with something like Warhammer, you're investing so much of it up front into the models and the books, apparently. I at least want to be smart with how I spend my money on it. I don't have infinite cash to like just buy everything here. Which army am I going to play? I kept asking my friends that are in 40K or people I know that like are in the hobby. And I just kept getting the same response, which I found really frustrating, which was that, oh, what's your fantasy? What are you into? What range looks cool? All this stuff. And sure, sure. But, there's also part of me that wants to decide based on like looking at the rules, looking at what an army can or can't do that is deeper than whatever they say in the copy on the websites. I want to actually go into the rules and then understand, oh, it actually plays like this. The design of this faction, the rules of the faction, what it has access to, what it doesn't have access to, what it's good at doing. This is how it actually feels, like gameplay wise feels to play. And that's super important to me for making a decision about how much time how much of my time am I actually going to put into the hobby is really dependent on like how much enjoyment I'm going to get out of the date, like the moment to moment feel of something. And I think for 40K, the moment to moment feel has a lot to do with the rules. I will say that now that I've picked some models back up and I'm kind of painting stuff, you do spend a lot more time just sitting with your models in your hand, painting them or looking at them than you do with them on the tabletop and you're moving them around actually playing a game. So there is something to be said about like what looks cool. What do you want to like play little army men with, the most? Yeah, I get it. But like, I still had this real strong urge to like want to look through all the army's rules. But yeah, I'm in my 40s. I've had a career. I have some money. I have an ethical standing when it comes to stuff like piracy and video games and games in general. I want to respect the publisher's intention, like the developer intention that they've made this, and I want to like be monetized to enjoy it, right? I want to give them my money for this. short of like buying every single physical rulebook to look at the rules for all the different units and stuff like that in the app. It's 2026. I swear to God. And this goes for like D&D and all the rest of them. Like, why are you monetizing rules? Why are we still monetizing rules at this point? Like, make a better offering that you can monetize other than the rules. I'm only going to be on the soapbox for so long, but like, oh my God, give me the rules for free. Why do you make it so hard for people to like understand what's even in the game? So anyways, I've got some rules. Now that I have some rules, I'm starting to go through and understand how to play the faction, which is cool. It doesn't really play super like how I was hoping. I played Tyranids in 3rd edition, which I had a great time. Anybody who played Tyranids in 3rd edition, I think you had a really good time. There were all these cool rules around like hive fleet construction and wounds. You could like make custom biomorphs and stuff like that. It was really fun. I thought it was really well imagined. I also played Imperial Guard. I played an Armored Company list. I was really into Adeptus Mechanicus, which is what we called it back then, but I guess AdMech people just say now. Effectively Imperial Guard Armored Company, but it was Adeptus Mechanicus. So I had like those 2 armies. I actually don't know if I want to play exactly the same as I used to back then. With Tyranids back in 3rd edition, I would just shove them up the board, smash them into my opponents, and try to stay in melee as long as possible. I think it was like they had a fleet of foot thing where like after you rolled over one squad, you could like, you know, consolidate charge or charge into the next squad. I don't know what the rules were. It was like you had to run up the board as fast as you could, but then as soon as you got into like hand-to-hand combat, you were like, okay, we're good. Just some like just stupid fun. It was fun. Armored Company was cool. I like the tanks. I think that's why I bought a whole bunch of tanks now for Space Marines, is because I think I just like painting tanks. Speaking of which, I was doing some painting tests just to like get back into it. I don't know if you guys can see this, but tried a little ultramarine thing. It came out a little denim. So not exactly ultramarine colors, but I'm pretty happy. I feel like there's some details that are starting to come through. Obviously, I did a lot of dry brushing back in the day, so that's like where my heart is. I tried a Dark Angels color scheme. This I'm not so good at because it like requires. I'm not good at painting white, and I think the cool Dark Angel units I think are like painted white and green. So like getting into Dark Angels would really require like learning how to paint white. I think they turned out pretty good. So I've got these little dudes. I can make them like talk to each other and go for lunch, have some sushi, you know. I'm really happy about this. I feel like it feels good to be moving my hands in this way again. It feels good to paint. It feels good to smell the fumes, drink the Nuln oil, you know. But man, I'm just salty about the rules thing. I think it's so weird. Like, you put up all these barriers to entry for people to like want to invest in your game. Sure, you have a ton of people already doing it anyways, regardless, right? And I think probably it's a monetization scheme to, you know, make people buy a rule book, and then maybe they're not into the army, and then, you know, they're buying another rule book and other minis. That's a whole thing, right? How nice would it be from a player standpoint if you could just like look through all the army rules and be like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool combo. Combos. Like, we have these detachments now. There's all these like detachments which give like a sub-army theming. I think they're awesome. And now in 11th edition, you can also mix and match detachments. I'm really excited about, but I wish I could just go through the rules and look for cool combinations. And I guarantee you, if I found some cool combinations and be like, that's fun to play, or that's a meme, or that's really obscure, I'm going to go buy those models because I'm going to want to play that thing I found and have that experience. And I want to come at the hobby like from that direction, as opposed to like I'm being forced to come at it from this direction, which is like you pick some sort of weird fantasy that you like engage with the lore or whatever it is, however they envision players actually attaching to the game in this way. And then you buy the rule book, and then you buy models specifically for that range, and then you build out your range. Not everybody feels like that. Not everybody thinks like that. I don't know. I'm just really frustrated. And I think it forces people to use stuff like these third-party sites that are like putting the rules up online. And I don't want to do that. Like I personally don't want to like look up rules on some server somewhere, you know, like, you know, D&D Beyond is a really good example, I think, of like a service that did it well at the time. I think before they got bought by Wizards. D&D Beyond in like 2017, something like that, they were offering a legendary bundle, I think it was called, where you could spend like 300 euros or whatever it was. You could have all the rule books, or at least everything that was printed at that point, and you'd get a bit of a discount for it. And I bought that because I wanted to like look through everything. And some players want to look through everything, you know? They want to like just sit there and like go through the rules. You yeah. I'm going to have a more positive video next time because I have some really cool updates when it comes to the army and also some of the hobby supply stuff that I've been gathering just so I can paint. It's been going really well. I'm really enjoying it. And I can actually totally see myself finishing in time. For anybody who doesn't know, I've actually signed up for the Newport Wales GT, which is in the UK, August 14th to 16th. So that's in like a month. Oh shit, that's in 4 weeks. Okay, so it's in 4 weeks. And it's an 8-round grand tournament hosted by Games Workshop. It's one of Game Workshop's open tournaments. And I'm going to be playing in that with the stuff I bought. So if you're interested in anything I've been talking about, stick with the channel. I'm going to be trying to do really frequent updates. I'm going to be kind of sharing my experience with you guys. I'm getting back into the hobby. It's been a long time. I find different parts confusing. And I'm kind of looking for a community. Like if you're watching this and you really want to like help me somehow, you see something that you already know, oh, that's not how that works, or you should really do this, it'll like save you some time or something. I would love to hear that kind of stuff. That would be total gold for me right now. But yeah, if you're interested in my road to the GT in Wales, stick with it. There's going to be a lot of videos, and we're going to get there. I'm not sure which list I'm bringing. I sort of have options between this Dark Angels list I have in mind and this Ultramarines list. Denim Superstars. We'll see which one I pick. Maybe you guys can help me pick one, and we're gonna make it happen. I'm going to have my stuff painted in time. Everything's booked. I got tickets, I got flights, hotel, it's all ready. I just need to like have this painted and show up and do the thing and probably go 0-8, you know, because I haven't played. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get a physical game in before I go to the tournament. Can you believe that? Okay. Yeah, see you guys soon. Help me. Bye.